Everyone knows that the cure for the common cold includes things like chicken soup. But what if we took chicken soup and amped it up by adding superfoods like kale and garlic and put in some probiotic cultures and some flavor from things like miso and yogurt, added some vitamin C to help with the absorption of those nutrients as well? What if we could do that and serve it raw so all of those nutrients are kept intact? What if we could keep it raw and hot? What if we could do all of that in just a few short minutes? I'm going to show you how. So in Joel Fuhrman's book, Super Immunity, he discusses how when we combine something like kale and any member of the onion family together raw and pulverize it, like say in a Vita-mix, we create this super food, immune building, anti-inflammatory powerhouse that can't be destroyed even after heat is applied, which is exactly what we're going to be doing here. Okay, so we've got all of our ingredients here. We've got 2 cups of kale. Kale is a superfood in the leafy green family. It's also a member of the cabbage family. And the chlorophyll in leafy green vegetables is not only going to help us deliver oxygen to our blood and our cells, it's also going to kind of serve as a prebiotic, very similar to a probiotic that helps with the good bacteria in our gut, which is very, very good for the immune system. And that's what we have going on here with this plain full-fat yogurt and this white mild miso paste. Miso paste is also going to impart a saltiness, so we don't have to add any extra of our own. We've also got the member of our onion family here, about 1/8 of a cup, and then we're going to add 1 clove of garlic. And we've also got lemon here. We're going to add the juice of a whole lemon. That vitamin C is great for a common cold. It's also going to help us absorb the nutrients from other things that are in our ingredients as well. And it's also going to bring a certain brightness and acidity to our soup, which is just going to be great for flavor and balance. And then we've got 1 cup of chicken stock here. If you don't have homemade, which I highly recommend, you can buy some. Just make sure that it's in a carton and it's organic and it's MSG free. None of that canned salty stuff. You can also use vegetable broth if you're a vegetarian. So let's get started. We're just going to add our 2 cups of kale first, the juice of our lemon, we're going to add 1 cup of the stock, and the most nutrient-dense part of the garlic is actually the paper. So as long as it's not dirty, there's no mold, I'm just going to throw the whole thing in there. That Vita-mix is going to pulverize the whole thing up and chop it up really nicely. And then we're going to add our onion. We're going to put our lid on and we're going to run our Vita-mix for approximately 5 minutes to just kind of let it heat through, and then we're going to add our yogurt, our miso, and our olive oil just to finish things off. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. We're just going to take our lid off here, and if you have a Vita-mix, you will notice that there's lots of heavy steam coming to the top, which is what we want. We are not cooking this soup, we're just heating it through, so we're keeping all of the nutrients intact. If you don't have a Vita-mix, you can use a food processor or a blender, and then you will just move it to the stove and heat it through. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our probiotic ingredients, our miso and our yogurt at this point. If you are doing this over the stove, again, you just want to heat this through, or you want to add it at the very, very end. And this is so we can just not kill all of that beneficial bacteria in these yummy ingredients. And finally, we're just going to add about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and this is totally optional. I just like to because I think it tastes better. We do have enough fat from the yogurt, so you don't have to have any more fat to help absorb the fat-soluble nutrients and all of these things. But again, it's entirely up to you. We're just going to put this back on high for about 1 more minute just to heat it through, and then we have soup. You just go straight into your bowl or into cups for sipping. Great for sick days, especially if you actually are in the throes of a cold. Eating as less as possible, or as little as possible, I guess I should say, is going to give your digestive system a rest so your body can focus on healing in other places. So, here's to your health. Enjoy.